We have seen women's sports be completely under attack by transgender activists. We've seen people like Leah Thomas. We've seen it in cycling. We've seen it across a variety of different sports. Biological men coming in and annihilating the female competition, destroying women's athletics. There have been a couple people who've been very loud and very vocal about that. Riley Gaines absolutely has been one of those people. And this week, she decided she was going to call out a lot of other female athletes about their sports being destroyed to see if they had anything to say about it. The first people she called out was Venus and Serena Williams, and then it just continued to rock and roll from there. Riley Gaines blasts Venus and Serena Williams for not standing up for women in trans sports debate. They're scared of cancel culture. And it wasn't just them, right? Each day the next week, I'm going to call on well-known female athletes. The first were Venus and Serena. Day 2, Ronda Rousey. How do you feel about males competing against women? Day 3, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, who we just saw in the women's NCAA championship. How do you feel about males competing against women? Allison Felix, what do you think about males competing against women? Simone Biles, what do you think? Carrie Walsh and Misty May Trainer, what do you think? You know, calling on some Olympians, calling on some very famous female athletes and holding their feet to the fire. All these things, I mean, the Ronda Rousey one got 55,000 likes. The Venus and Serena one got a ton of traction too. But we've talked about it on this program before, guys. This is what needs to happen. You need to have women calling it out, because we can sit here and we can complain, we can bitch and moan, but until actual women continue to speak out about this, a lot of people will not listen to. And that's what Riley Gaines has been doing since the beginning with all this Leah Thomas nonsense. And she continues to push the envelope, even when she's become a target. We saw what happened to her in San Francisco. She's not scared. She's continuing on. And I applaud her for her efforts.
Yeah, I believe that she needs to extend this to more than a week. She needs to do this every single day. Now, one prominent female athlete, an all-time great, has pretty much been echoing Riley Gaines. That's Martina Navratilova, 18-time Grand Slam champion in tennis, one of the greatest female athletes of all time. She has been pretty vocal that biological males should not actually be in women's sports. However, she's in her 60s, and a lot of the people that are actually pushing all this probably never actually saw her play. Riley Gaines needs to go after Brittany Griner. Riley Gaines needs to go after Megan Rapinoe, even though we know where they stand. I mean, they want biological men in women's sports. So she needs to extend this to every single day. And I don't think any of these athletes that she's actually named out have replied back and gave their opinion on it. It's kind of sad, but I expected that these athletes would not respond to her.
And it's so funny because specifically Serena Williams talked about this years ago.
Yeah, she said it years ago.
She was like, I don't want to compete against men.
Yeah.
Like, I like the 200th ranked man in the world would destroy me. Like, she's said that multiple times. But
that was like 10 years ago.
It's not okay to say those things now.
She would be canceled if she said that today.
Transphobic if you were to say something like that. So what about you, Beardo?
I think it's actually quite ironic that she called out Serena Williams for this whole trans men or trans woman, whatever, in women's sports, because Serena Williams has been accused of being, let's say, manly and been accused of that before. So I think calling her out is actually quite funny. But yeah, I mean, good on Riley Gaines. You know, like John said, she needs to do this more often. This can't just be a little brief period of time where she just decides to go after. I think you just need to keep pushing at it every single day. And if they don't respond, tweet at them again, and then tweet at them again, and keep doing it until you get a response out of them. Because, you know, unless real female athletes speak out, nothing's going to be done, because we can sit here and bitch and complain all day about it, but it's going to take real women athletes to put an end to this nonsense.
Yeah, if you actually look at Serena Williams in her prime, for a woman, she is very, very powerful.
Yeah,
that backhand, but her backhand is nothing compared to Rafa Nadal, Novak Djokovic. It's not even close. She would get annihilated. In that clip from like 10 years ago, she said she would lose 6-0 to Andy Murray in 6 minutes. And I believe that. For a woman, she's powerful, but she ain't powerful enough for an elite male athlete.
Yeah, and she acknowledged that back in like 2013 or 2012. She acknowledged that repeatedly. But now it's silence when it comes to men coming in and destroying women's sports.
Yep.